Hi everyone, it's Jaden. Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm going to be doing another kind of just chatting with you guys in my car. It seems to me though, from the statistics that I see on my analytics, that these videos do the best. Like, people are most interested when I just kind of ramble on. I think because it has good relatability and it kind of relaxes people for the anxiety and adrenal fatigue experience and recovery. So I thought I'd do another one. And today I'm going to talk about, and I've done videos on this, but just some of the interesting, challenging, somewhat scary experiences I've had going through that recovery and the whole health issue I went through. And maybe you're going through the same thing, or you might find it to be helpful. I'm not drinking my matcha green tea today. Switching it up. This is just like Japanese barley tea. So anyways, okay. I have a few, okay, I could share. First experience I'll share is one I had earlier on, after my episode. And it was right before I wanted to have a little fun time with myself, because you're cooped up in bed, have the crash, and you can't do much of anything. And after the first couple of weeks of really intense, where you're just like completely out of it, at least I was, I got bored, and since I couldn't work out, I couldn't do anything exciting, I thought, well, I'm just gonna have a little fun with myself. And I'm sure you guys all know what I'm talking about. And so I proceed to do this activity, and very quickly, like before I even got to the good stuff, right? It was just like getting ready. The excitement of it very quickly turned into like massive anxiety, massive panic. I just felt like, I felt a feeling that I've never felt before that in my life, where it was almost like ecstasy mixed with torture. Okay, like the usual arousal experience that is very blissful when you don't have this adrenal fatigue crap is now a torture. I mean, it was like I felt like I was running away from a dangerous situation, but times 1,000. I couldn't calm myself down. I started getting the shakes, the jitters, and the weirdest part is when that's all happening while you're still turned on. So it was freaking awful. Like I that was one of the things that I mean, a lot of the things I didn't enjoy, but for a guy, that I'm sure for women too, but it was just not, I mean, that's like one of a guy's favorite thing to do, at least for me. And I just, in that moment, I thought, maybe I will never be doing this again. Because it was just that awful. It just left this like kind of tainted, like torturous feeling in something that's so pleasurable. Right? So it kind of fucked with my psychology also, because, yeah, it was like I now had this like weird, thank God it didn't last forever, but like for a little while there, I had this like sexual hang up. Like I didn't want to get turned on, because like if I got turned on, I would go into this like sometimes more than semi panic mode. And it was not fun to get out of. It would take like hours to get out of the initial part, and then it would take like a couple days before I could like feel okay, like in all ways, not just sexually, but like just in all ways. And so a lot of you guys have asked me about being chronically masturbating, and then suddenly one day you felt the same symptoms I have. I imagine it could probably be, that wasn't the only thing for me. Obviously I had like, my grandpa was dying, Like all these things happen at once, and you know, the strict dieting, the perfectionism for years, like you all know, that led to it. And yeah, a lot of it was, I'm like highly sexual person, so I was overdoing in all departments, so that was a department too. So that was very scary. And you know, that also usually follows up with like the heart palpitation and the jittery, the trembling, the like tingling slash trembling feeling under your skin and all that. Yeah, so that's one. That led to a lot of health anxiety. Like I started looking into like, is my heart okay? Am I just like suddenly have a heart problem so I can't handle like sex? Because you know that's usually a sign, right? And then, you know, I questioned that, did I like messed up my sight? Like, is my psychology messed up? Like, did I push myself over the edge so now I can't even handle like sexual thoughts because it's too much for my system or whatever? I mean, I was like, oh my God, this can't be. And that was in the very beginning where I started to find out, not just in the sexual department, like many departments, I was just crashing, you know, being stimulated, like not sexually, but like just in general, I was crashing. So that leads to my next story. At the early stages and before I learned how to deal with this myself, I was also in phase 1 myself, and I was like experimenting with things I could and could not do, and you know, made all the mistakes that you guys email me and text me and message me about, and suffered through it. I did all that, and one time I remember I got myself into a crowded situation, like at the mall, too early on. I thought I could handle it, but it was too early, and things were going okay, like I was pacing myself, and then suddenly I just felt like a claustrophobia feeling where like I just felt like everywhere I turned there was somebody, and like I was very vulnerable like energetically at the time, so I just felt like I was picking up on everybody's like moods and stuff, and I was instantly overwhelmed, and I wanted to just like fall down, like crash to the floor. And of course, I started having the same symptoms, like that can't catch my breath. I feel like everything's overwhelming. I feel overstimulated. Can't cope with stress. Those are all very common for the adrenal stuff that I went through. And I ran the fuck home, or I drove the fuck. I mean, I just was like, and then I was instantly in bed for like a couple of days. And prior to that, I had rested for so long, and thinking like, so long meaning like a few weeks, right? And thinking, okay, I'm fine now, I can deal with this. I went out, I did that, I learned my lesson, and no, I wasn't ready then. Like I've said in so many other videos, this takes so much recovery time, doing the right things. So for the third experience that was very difficult, was I was practicing piano once. This is probably, I would say like 3 months into it. No, more like 5 months into it. Yeah. 5 months into it, I was obviously feeling better gradually, a little bit at a time, but still, I was still in like phase 2, right? That tricky phase where you think everything's fine, you do more, and then you crash, and then, you know, the circle begins. I was in that, and I was practicing piano. I was practicing this one part where it was like very challenging for me, so I was doing it over and over again. And now, if I didn't have this health issue, the experience would have just felt like frustrating, right? Like I would just be like frustrated at this certain passage that I couldn't do that I was practicing. But with this kind of imbalance, it intensifies that frustration. So it became this, like, I literally felt like I had like bugs crawling on my skin. Like that frustration manifested so greatly because of whatever over sensitive state I had become because of this health issue. It went into another kind of panic attack but this time it was like I felt like my skin was crawling and I couldn't get that feeling off of my skin. And then again, I was like heart palpitation coming, and I was like, oh my God, this is happening again. Fuck. And then, of course, it went away after a few hours of, calming myself down. And yeah, I remember afterwards just sitting there like, holy fuck, again. I just went through it again. So believe me when I tell you, when you guys send me with all your, hardship stories and stuff, when I say I understand, I understand. Okay, I mean, if it really, really is the similar thing that I had gone through. Again, I'm not a doctor or therapist. Please check in with your own health professional. Yeah, guys. So I think that's all the time I have today. I got to get on to my next appointment, but I just wanted to get on and make a video now, and I'll post this probably within a few days. So I hope you guys are doing well and you found this relatable, maybe reassurance, maybe entertainment, maybe you just want to pop in to see me. Other than that, have a great day, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.